making risotto today. It's gonna be a good one. Easy risotto, chicken broth, garlic, onions, miso. It's gonna be good. Here we go. Alright. Let's do this. 2 cloves of garlic, minced. Mix that around. Once it turns fragrant, which is about 10 seconds, all we gotta do, 1/4 of an onion. When you make risotto, typically you look at the package and it says something along the lines of 1-to-1 or 1 1/4 to 1, which is like 1 1/4 of grains, 1 to liquid. Absolutely the fuck not. So you're thinking 4-to-1 ratio of liquid to rice after you toast everything. Then you make a low and slow kind of thing going on with it. Reason being, when you make the risotto, you kind of mixing it around, doing a low and slow to kind of release the starches into the liquid, thus making it more thick, and that's how you get good risotto. Takes patience. Making risotto, still reducing it, still takes about 8 minutes. Also, talked about how risotto, sometimes you look at the package. If you're following a recipe on when to reduce onions, and they say, you know, let the onions sweat until they're caramelized or until they're soft, about 4 to 5 minutes. Bullshit. 10, 12, 15 hours? Maybe? Who knows? But it's definitely not 4 to 5 minutes. So after they've reduced after about 45 minutes of cooking, you watched an entire episode of Money Heist. Get back! Throw in risotto, cook your onion and the garlic, and let it toast until it turns brown. We're going to be adding a little bit of extra flavor to that though. Alright. Rice is toasted, everything's soft, we're nice and seasoned. First things first, hot chicken broth or beef broth or whatever what you want to use, but make sure it's hot. Main reason being is that rice absorbs heat really well, so once you pour the the liquid in, starts bubbling up immediately. Pour in a little bit at a time and then set it on low heat, and then from there, once the liquid starts to reduce below the risotto, then start to add a little bit more, but make sure your other liquid remains hot. Main reason being, you don't want cold liquid hitting hot shit, because from there, that's when things start to kind of break down, right? So fats start to separate, the starches don't quite get where they need to be. So you want to make sure hot stays hot, cold stays cold. You're constantly stirring, breaking up the starch, but it's still hard, so all we gotta do, keep adding more of my broth. Already got the miso in, so we got some extra flavor going in, but then from there, all we gotta do, keep stirring, wait till it comes up to a boil, and then from there, wait till it reduces and that the rice just absorbs. How you know it's getting good? It's starting to boil. Starting to see a little bit of fat layer right on top. But also, when you start to stir, a little bit of resistance. And that's how you know it's starting to get a little bit soft. So you keep stirring, stir the fat around, Get a little bit of salt in there. The miso's adding a little bit of flavor as well, but you can start to see that the grains are starting to get a little bit bigger. And also, another thing to look forward to is when it does this, it doesn't just fall, but it kind of like slides off. And that's what we're looking for here. So, risotto's not done yet, still got another 5 minutes, but it's getting on the way there. So all of this here is going to actually absorb, and we're going to add a little bit more liquid on top of all that. All right, so check this out. When you have the risotto, and it's kind of simmering like this, but it looks like, I don't know if it's done. Take a look. Take your spoon, or your spatula, or this little wool guy. Take it and run it down. And all you're looking for is that it kind of just does not run back down. So I'm like Moses with the Red Sea over here, right? If it falls back immediately, that means it's still a little bit too liquidy. So all we're doing is just keep kind of just going back and forth and making sure that it runs straight down, but also it doesn't stick to the pan. If it sticks to the pan, you don't have enough liquid. That means the sugar's caramelized. All right, so here, the goal is making, what are we making? Arancini. Yeah, we're making arancini. So the whole idea here is that we are making risotto. But if you overhydrate your risotto, that's okay, because once you fry it, it kind of takes away some moisture. So you still got a moist ball when you're done. All right, so when it starts to get a little creamy like this, you'll see it gets a little bit thick. What you're looking for is fully cooking the rice, and then you'll see there's a little bit of extra liquid left, which is absolutely perfect, because you get a microplane, get the Parmesan cheese, and then you just kind of go in on that. That's it. Alright, so risotto, creamy, doesn't move very well, which is great. And all you gotta do is just give it a taste. And what you're looking for is kind of salty, creamy, thick, but also soft. Looks pretty good. Fuck. Oh yeah, that's good. So we made risotto. Serve it. Put it under scallops, put it under whatever the fuck you want. But you have leftover risotto, what do? It's already solidified, it's already solid, it's viscous. Put it on a sheet pan, refrigerate it, and then from there, overnight, we can just kind of make some risotto, or sorry, some arancini out of all that. And then from there, kind of just right into a ball. You want to make sure that when you're doing these, that you go as round as possible. So, just like that. All right, so we're just going to keep repeating the process until we get all of them done. All right, so basic process is here. All of the risotto has been rolled up into a ball, and then we have our sheet pan with parchment paper so it doesn't stick right here. That way we can get everything prepped and organized. And then from there we have our basic breading station, which is going to be flour, eggs, and breadcrumbs. Flour and breadcrumbs are seasoned with salt because you always want to season all the way. And then from there, basic steps is dredge each ball. Then from there, use a fork to help you out here so that your hands just stay dry. Get it all through the egg. Make sure it's fully evenly coated, there's no dry spots. And then from there, egg right into the breadcrumbs. I'm using panko for this one here. And then from there, we're just going to bread it and make sure that they are fully coated in breading. You can press it down gently, but make sure you don't break the actual ball. Once you're done, line it up on the sheet pan, and they are ready to get fried. All right, so final one. Once you get it all done, they're all coated. The one thing about arancini, or really anything like this, is it's super delicate. So even if you were to make like a fried mac and cheese, croquettes, for example, if you were to do this while it was still cold but not very cold, it would just break apart in the oil. So after a quick rinse, dry off, and then we're just going to throw this in the freezer for 15 minutes, and then it's going to be time to fry. Alright, arancini's out of the freezer. Oil's been heating, and then from there, quick test. Chinese way is take a wooden chopstick, place it right on the bottom, and if it starts bubbling, your oil's ready to go. Here you go, Mike. Nice. I didn't realize you guys were doing arancini. Yeah, we made risotto yesterday. Nice. Just like standard chicken broth. So after about 3 minutes per side, you'll see that it's nice and golden brown all around. So we're just going to gently pull them out, place them on a wire rack.